So this is my next project. I picked up this. This is an Eico 435 oscilloscope. It's got a bandwidth of DC to 4.5 megahertz, and I picked it up on eBay a few weeks ago for a couple of bucks. And so I got this little oscilloscope as a base of a project. I'm gonna be going through this oscilloscope in the next couple of videos. It's going to be a multi-part videos, going through and rebuilding the interiors. It's a tube-based old oscilloscope. The electrolytics and all need to be replaced, and I'll be going through and checking resistors and replacing those as needed, and doing some rewiring. The construction of this type of oscilloscope is point to point, so it's a rather a mess inside with wires and components just sort of mounted here, there, and there. It's just a real tangled mess, a lot of it. So I'll be going through and cleaning it out and rewiring parts of it that need to be rewired. But this is just sort of an introductory video, and we'll take a look at the insides. Alright, so looking on the, I guess this would be the right side. Anyway, down here in the lower portion is the horizontal amplifier, the horizontal drive circuits, of course, a couple of vacuum tubes, and then this big can here, which will have to go. And I believe this can has at least one section that's shorted. One of the problems I'm having right now with this scope is that it's blowing a fuse shortly after power up. I went ahead and just to do some testing, replaced the main power supply filter cap. It's this was this big multi-section cap here, and it had a faulty section. Just testing it in circuit. And I went ahead and replaced it with this sort of strip board configuration here with new electrolytics. I'm really not. I really don't like this arrangement I've got with these power resistors in the power supply section. They do get pretty warm, and even though I've gone ahead and used 105 degree C rated electrolytics, I really don't like the close proximity to this, and I just sort of threw this together just to get it testing to see if the CRT would work, and the CRT does work. It's got a nice bright and sharp trace. So I've gone ahead and reordered new parts. I'm going to redo this. That'll be part of one of the videos. Probably the next thing I do is redo this power supply section. And you can see here the giant hole in the chassis where the original power supply can was, and I'll be replacing that with got a one section which is these two made up in parallel to be 300 microfarads. I've got a single 330 microfarad cap that I'm going to mount in this section here with a clamp. What else? So as you can see, the wiring, it's all point to point. It's a very sort of jumbled mess of wire. So I'll be going through redoing all this wiring, cleaning up some of these points could probably be combined together to get rid of some of the jumper wires. Sort of fix this kind of stuff with the leads that are sorted under the component leads, and it's just a mess. So I'll be going through and replacing all that. And the one thing is that these it looks like the previous owner has replaced these high voltage caps. These are filter caps for the high voltage power supply for the CRT, and these look like really fairly new Illinois capacitor brand capacitors as they're 0.1 microfarad at 1600 volts. I did pick up some replacements for these, but I'll take these out of circuit and test them, and if they're good, I'll probably just reuse those capacitors. We'll see how it goes. Other than that, not really much to see on this side. Of course, this, this is the low voltage side of the power transformer. Low voltage being 430 volts, but that is the low voltage side. And then the 6-volt winding for the CRT filament also comes out on this side. Alright, we'll flip it over and take a look at the other side now. Alright, and here is the other side of the oscilloscope. Showing here, with this section being here now being the back of the horizontal section, and this up here would be the top half of the vertical section, with the vertical driver tubes, and then there's a couple of these are interstage tubes for the vertical section, and then the power rectifier for the low voltage power supply here. And I believe the high voltage rectifier sits here. It's a 1V2 high voltage rectifier, and this one is an I believe it's a EZ81. I have to double check on that, but anyway, that's the low voltage rectifier. And then the 6-volt filaments in the high voltage section, the high voltage windings coming out here to the high voltage rectifier. Let's see what else. I'll drop my pointer here. Yeah, but same thing. More jumble. This is the power switch here. It's on this shared with this rheostat for the CRT intensity. But yeah, all this, again, more jumble. The filament, they kind of routed the filament leads just wherever for the tubes. This will have to get replaced. And then see if we can clean up some of this point-to-point wiring. Here's the back of this other can that's got to come out still. And other than that will be about it for now. I'll get some work done, and we'll do a follow-up and go from there.